What albums are the best albums to listen to specifically for vinyl, in your opinion? Now, I almost didn't put this project up here because I ain't gonna hold you. Your boy been doing a little bit too much lately. I'm talking about just unhinged to the point where I don't even really want to mess with his music no more. I know that sounds petty, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I gave it one more listen, don't get me wrong, because it's good music, but after that, you see what I said? I said good music, but after that, I was like, nah, I'm done. But for the sake of this content, I'm going ahead and put it up here anyway. And the whole reason why I'm doing this is because I don't got no vinyl player. I don't know why I don't got no vinyl player. I actually do know why, because I stream my music. So I feel like, what's the point of buying it? Now, I wasn't always like that, because the last album I bought was probably like 2017. That's darn near 10 years ago. Well, I take that back. If y'all watch my other video, I had bought that Lil Wayne, the Carter 6, just to show y'all, because they was talking funny about the physical copy, if you know what I mean. Just go watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. But this album right over here, first of all, if you close your eyes and just listen to the music play, it's like it's just taking you through a little story or something like that. You know, I like stuff like that. And then this album, I felt like this is like one of the first albums, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, where when the music is playing, say like you on one song, and then in that same song, it skips to another beat, and it's like a whole nother song. You got two songs on one track. You feel what I'm saying? I like stuff like that. So anyway, this was my very first pick right over here. And I've been saying this since it first came out, that I wanted to hear this on vinyl. Now, for some reason, I don't know why y'all don't talk about this album as much as his other albums. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar was definitely a classic. Now, I feel like this album don't get the respect that it deserves out of all his other categories, except the one before GNX, Mr. Morale. I don't think y'all were messing with that one at all. But out of the other albums, this one is also slept on. Now, yes, it did win a Grammy. It was a perfect album to release in 2015, but I remember when it first came out, y'all was not messing with it at all. Y'all was up there talking about something that's a little different and all this stuff, too much jazz and whatever, and y'all had to listen to it like a couple of times, and then eventually y'all started liking it. But same thing, close your eyes and just let the album ride out. It's just like you in a whole transition of a story going on when you close your eyes and just listen to this album play. So that's why I like this one too. Now, Wu-Tang Forever is a classic album. Now, the only thing is, if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to listen to this album, you're not going to be finished till 6 o'clock in the evening. If you bought this in CD form, then you already know it was a 2-disc set, all right? Both discs got too many songs on there, but it don't matter because all them songs is good. And it's the same way how I feel about Kanye West with his production, or even the same way I feel about Kendrick Lamar when he had his production on all his albums, is the same way I feel about this album right over here. You can tell they put time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears into the production and the way how they crafted the songs. All right, so it definitely need to be talked about and held up in high regards, just like those two albums that I talked about right over there. Because those are Grammy-winning albums, by the way, because I don't know if y'all remember, this was nominated for a Grammy, and it lost to Puff Daddy's The Family album or whatever, his first album, and ODB went on that stage showing his ass. And not to mention, Triumph is one of the greatest songs out there because it's 9 people rapping on there and ain't got no chorus and the beat is hard. What more I need to say after that? I remember when this first came out, y'all was up in here trying to play this man talking about it's a flop. Oh, because he sold 14,000 copies his first week or something like that. Now, he did try to defend himself talking about it's a mixtape. Now, Thug, I was on your side, and I am on your side. But I ain't gonna hold you. It is a retail project, though. It wasn't no project that where you was dropping on live mixtapes and that piff. Because if you would have did that also, then you could have had some leverage or whatever. Like, nah, I got it up for free too, though. And 14,000 people also purchased it also. But nah, you ain't do that. It wasn't up for free at all. But it don't even matter. Music stands the test of time. This stood and it passed, all right? And on top of that, it's certified gold right now. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be certified platinum one day also. But that don't even matter because at the end of the day, when you listen to this project right here, you could tell that man was going to be a star, all right? Because when you listen to his music, and this is how I feel about all the projects that I'm naming right now, when these people make this music or whatever, you can tell, like, they actually putting the time and effort you could tell like he was actually sitting there with the producer, like, nah, hit this button right here, hit that button right over here. Like you could tell he actually cared about his music. If you already listen to Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, then you already know. It ain't much gotta be explained. This album already sounds like it's on vinyl. No matter what format you listen to it on, vinyl, CD, you streaming it on one of these apps or whatever, it sounds like it's on vinyl. So that's why I picked this album right over here. But unpopular opinion, your boy Havoc, he was getting with your boy Prodigy. That's all I'm saying. I know Prodigy's the better MC in the group, but Havoc, he was going toe-to-toe with him. And I know they try to give each other credit on the thank you notes and stuff like that. Shout out to Havoc for stepping it up. I think he was talking about the beats, and he was telling Prodigy, yo, shout out to Prodigy for stepping it up. But nah, Havoc definitely stepped it up because this album right over here, first of all, this is my favorite Mobb Deep album right over here. They're known for their dark, sinister beats, and I feel like this album right there is the best example. But Havoc, not only did he step it up with the beats, like I said, I feel like he was going toe-to-toe with your boy Prodigy. I feel like on Murder Music, Prodigy definitely took it over. But for this album right over here, I feel like it ain't no better MC. And I feel like Havoc's lyricism don't get talked about enough at all. And I feel like they need to start talking about it more because it's been plenty of moments, not just here and there. It's been plenty of moments where Havoc done carried the group. That's all I'm saying. Same thing with this album right over here too. Ain't much to discuss at all. This album right over here, it was crafted perfectly, and they couldn't have did no wrong on here. And this actually got 5 mics from the source. It originally had 4.5, but they re-rated it to 5, if that still matters, because I know the source was a thing back in the day. But other than that, though, man, that's how I like my albums, okay? I like just closing my eyes and letting the album play, because when you do that with this album, it feel like you in a movie. Just let the whole thing ride out, pause, to the point where I don't even know the name of the songs. You be like, hey, play Incarcerated Scarfaces. I don't know which one that is. You know what I'm saying? Just because I just let the whole album ride out. And the way them boys are going back and forth, you would have never thought that they had smoke back in the day. So shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan series because they showed that on the first episode. And on top of that, I ain't going to say too much. Your boy Ghostface was going at that boy Big, rest in peace. I'm pretty sure they all made up afterwards or whatever. But he was going at Big, rest in peace, because his album cover. I ain't going to say too much. You just got to listen to it for yourself. All right, so last pick. Your boy Benny the Butcher with Tana Talk 3. Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Just snapped on this album right over here. He definitely had something to prove. When Griselda signed to Shady back in 2017, it seemed like they was only just focusing on Westside Gunn and Conway. I know that was the case for me. I was only just focusing on Conway for real. But I feel like when he dropped this album right over here, I feel like more eyes was on him after that. And then he just kept taking it a step further every single time. But this album was perfect right over here because the main producers was Derringer, they main producer that they used for most of their music that made everybody fall in love with the sound that they used for Griselda, and then your boy, The Alchemist. So adding The Alchemist onto that, man, you already know from track 1 to 14, oh yeah, they snap with this right over here. But my unpopular opinion, I feel like your boy Conway make the better projects. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing else. I ain't going no further than that. But other than that, though, what are some of y'all albums that you feel like would be perfect for a vinyl? Y'all let me know in the comments.